Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
P.N. Watch this movie.
You are invited.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of WTM Watch This Movie. I am Eric Mulder.
He's probably 6'7", 6'8", but a skinny 6'7", 6'8", about 160.
Joining me, as always, is Mr. Positivity himself, Wolfie T.
I am the kindest man alive.
What's up? It's feeling a little patriotic. Getting out the soccer jerseys. 4th of July's coming up. We're
250.
talking 250. We're talking Supergirl. That's red, white, and blue right there.
Did you see the movie?
I did not actually. Yes, this is a recently seen episode. Some of us are gonna discuss Supergirl, and we'll finish off the movie challenge for Tomorrow Never Dies and The Wiz. But it's the reason you came, the reason you clicked to listen. We got Zolly Becker with us.
You don't really think you'll win, do you? Things change.
I'm back, everyone, to discuss my favorite subject besides being Jewish, I guess.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
I mean, Supergirl's got to be at least half Jewish, right? David Krumholtz is their dad.
It is the thing, is that like she is definitely, they want to be very clear that these are the good space Jews, as opposed to the ones from last year's movie, which were less than the higher ideal and higher standard of good that we expect from our Kryptonian parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because Bradley Cooper is more of a Philly hooligan or something, right? Like a Irish or Italian.
Well, he looks Jewish enough
Evil
in the
man.
movies.
Yeah, or German enough, since he wants to destroy everything, right?
It is kind of weird. We cast ourselves as the villain, and we cast like normal white mayonnaise Christian people as Jews who are persecuted by like Jewish actors. It's it's a costume drama, but that is something we see often again. But in this movie, David Krumholtz basically plays a very normal version of Jor-El. I mean, I know Zor-El isn't Jor-El, but he is. It's the same fucking thing in this.
Right.
And he's a more on message, standard issue Kryptonian father.
Now he speaks Kryptonian in the movie,
Yes.
but was he just actually speaking Yiddish or something?
I think it was like a made up like Arabic sounding language to make the people in the producer class feel a little bad.
Because I felt like it was a very Jewish performance from David
And we
Krumholtz.
get the vibe because we see David Krumholtz doing his thing, and we assign what we assign to the fantasy language.
Yes.
But I could be wrong. They could have been speaking some sort of Incan dialect that they only speak in the jungle, for all we know.
Sure. It was
Mulder has not
subtitled.
seen the movie?
I saw the movie.
But
Mulder did
hasn't seen the
not.
movie?
Yeah,
Mulder did not. He refused.
You had one job.
Just the one.
Let's set the stage. I was originally maybe going to see it, but there were extenuating circumstances, and I just couldn't fit it in. So I will be on the sidelines. But
It is just like Rebel Moon. I mean, it is. Man, we have to say that it is the most Rebel Moon inspired thing yet.
well, before you dive into that, let's set the stage where Brett, you guys both saw this in IMAX, right? Or Brett,
Oh yes, both.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They let me into the fan first screening on IMAX.
you were the first
on
fan.
Wednesday night. On Wednesday night, I was the first to see it. It was a surprisingly full theater. It was not a sellout, but it was pretty close. Probably at least 90% dudes. There are only a few females in the audience, which is interesting because
I was told
I
for the
don't
past
think
month that all men hate Allie. How do you say her name?
Millie
Millie.
Alcock,
Millie Alcock.
or Alcock, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure there were very few Christian dads in the audience,
Yes,
Mhm.
some did show up, I think, probably.
but the movie seems like it's for the girls, but
Hmm.
there weren't a lot of girls that showed up.
My screening was at like 30% capacity. And
It's because
that's a
all the
very
fans saw it
generous.
first and nobody else is going.
Well, I mean, like, I figure if, like, by Saturday, that's the day, like, parents and their kids and shit would see it, right?
Right.
Like, noon, yeah, I don't know. It was not done well. And
Yeah,
that's fine.
usually these big blockbusters, if they got legs, they have very full weekend afternoon uh, screenings, especially in the premium formats on opening weekend. So if you go Saturday afternoon and it's only 30% full, that's not a good
It's,
sign.
it is done. Now, mind you, I did see He-Man in a somewhat packed auditorium, but that's different because that's like by the time He-Man was in theaters for 3 days, it was already a bomb and it was already a cult sensation that reawakened the love of cinema.
I
So,
liked
like,
He-Man. I really liked the new
yeah.
Masters of the Universe.
So you can't always tell by the theaters packing on Saturday if the movie is doing well or not. It could just be, a bunch of people going because they think it's not going to be in theaters long,
Sure.
which which isn't happening for Supergirl, I don't think. My only dog in this fight is I want He-Man to do better than Supergirl, just to prove my hypothesis correct, box office wise. But they're both kind of similar in the sense that the public is wary of both He-Man and the James Gunn DC universe for similar reasons, actually. The pool has been pissed in just too much.
So you want to get into the rebel moonness of it all?
Yes. Well, full disclosure, I've not read Tom King's Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow, but thankfully, no one involved with this production has either. So it's fine. The plot of the movie is this princess warrior girl needs Supergirl to avenge her family who've been killed by marauders from space, as we all know. And Supergirl's dog in this fight, no pun intended, is literally fucking Crypto the dog, who gets poisoned with a poison dart. So, she has a moral investment. And I don't even know what the princess girl's name is in the fucking movie.
It's Ruthie.
Ruthie, Princess Ruthie. She decides after the dog is shot with a slow-acting poison dart. Also, the doctor who tends to Crypto is an alien who is made to look like Zoe Saldana, I think. Kind of. Kind of. There's a lot of really mean shit in this movie. Like, mean. Like, this is a mean satire of Rebel Moon. There's a scene in Rebel Moon where a man in a Joss Whedon creature costume says he has clean sheets in his hotel, in his bedroom, and that he'll trade one night with clean sheets for a sexual encounter with Sophia Batella's sidekick guy, the generic white hero of Rebel Moon. That scene is recreated in Supergirl, but with a 13-year-old girl, like the alien creature who looks like Coleman Trebor from Star Wars Attack of the Clones, offers information in exchange for sex with a 13-year-old girl. Anyway, there is a sex trafficking subplot. The villains are also sex traffickers, which might actually be a reference to Tom King's service record. Because Tom King probably trafficked women for the Taliban. To make peace, like from not the Taliban, but I mean like one Pashtun to another on occasion, or fucking boys for all we know. It's fucking Afghanistan. Holy shit. But anyway, the bad guys are sex traffickers. They've kidnapped Princess Ruth's whole village also. And every alien locale either looks like Rebel Moon or Guardians of the Galaxy. Like every locale. Everything we see, except for the green kryptonite planet. The green kryptonite planet is from Prometheus, but just green. I mean, basically. The kryptonite planet is, I think, a total asshole also. It just sucks. But that's where, ironically, the people who were promoting this movie are just as sick as James Gunn. Because the photo they put out on the internet where Millie Alcock looks like the feral kid from Road Warrior is when she's getting kryptonite poisoning. So she's like fucked up looking in that photo. But they were like, look at our wonderful Supergirl, you hateful Republican misogynist. And they literally used a screen cap of her getting kryptonite. So there's a lot of things going on here.
And not even seen the movie. Was she kryptonited phallically?
No, there's like a moon of kryptonite.
No, it's the planet has two suns.
Yeah.
The planet has two suns. One's green and one's yellow.
Yes.
And the green one acts like kryptonite and it kills her because green stuff is bad.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to know. I was wondering if she was like penetrated, like Henry Cavill.
No point is she. They do not do anything to Millie Alcock ever that's anything like Slither. They are completely averse. In fact, the movie's called Supergirl, but it's not about her. Nothing. The only real
Superman wasn't really all that much about Superman either.
That is true, but like Supergirl is everything. Supergirl is not on display in this movie. Like she doesn't wear the costume ever.
Till the very end, she has to earn the costume.
Yeah, that's just weird. The costume like protects her from the kryptonite sun. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid.
But she had to go on an emotional journey and learn to deal with her trauma.
It's a movie about trauma. It's a movie about trauma. The movie is about trauma.
Is that why she's wearing that foreskin jacket everywhere?
The foreskin jacket. That's because of the pro. That's because of Garth Ennis, the pro. No,
it doesn't look that color in the movie, so I don't know why the cups look like that.
I think that's just more sick shit from the Safran Company. They're like, what if we had penis cups? I didn't see any penis cups in the AMC. I didn't see any Supergirl plastic anything at the end.
I saw one guy holding one of them.
There you go. Maybe they were all gone by Thursday. Maybe they only had enough
all the real fans snatched them.
All the fans got them first.
But the one scene where the alien tries to proposition the hero's sidekick is from Rebel Moon. And I'm trying to figure out who in James Gunn's universe would that guy be? Is it Zack Snyder? Probably not. I don't know. Who I don't know who'd be making fun of. Part of me made me think, because the alien kind of looked like Scoot McNairy, that he hates Scoot McNairy for some reason. Or he like hates Ben Affleck and people associated with Ben Affleck.
He probably hates The Rock too.
He probably hates The Rock too. But there's no creature or thing in the movie that's like, that's Dwayne Johnson.
Right.
Like you can't. But then he's not. This sounds so shitty. He's not descriptive enough in his art for that. Like in Zack Snyder, you can see who he's taking shit on. With James Gunn, it's insular. It's shit that matters only to him. But I mean, he wasn't the director of this movie, but he may as well have been.
I thought that too. He didn't get credited as director or writer. It was directed by Craig Gillespie and written by Anna Nogueira, who has been getting dragged ever since this came out because
she's terrible.
She's got like no experience writing movies. And
she wrote Batgirl, which I'm sure is great. Which I'm certain, in fact, is great. I am morally certain Anna Nagori's Batgirl is the greatest female-led superhero movie ever written.
And she's lined up to write Wonder Woman. And what's the other one that is it Teen Titans?
Yeah, assuming we get there. Assuming David Ellison is like, you know what? I was mistaken. You should continue.
I agree that this is definitely a James Gunn movie. Like it looks like a James Gunn movie. It's written and shot like a James Gunn movie. Like I'd be surprised if he didn't like actually direct it or write it.
It's entirely possible Gillespie was kicked off the movie and James Gunn took it over. But that we don't know. We don't know. He definitely
The
chose
George
the
P.
music.
Cosmatos of the DC universe.
Well, that is the thing. Is the only director to publicly take a shit on James Gunn in the last 13 years was Alan Taylor. And his allegement is that James Gunn doesn't always direct the stuff he directs. And that when he does, sometimes he directs stuff, it's horrible and terrible. It's a contamination of the rest of the movie. He suggested that his Thor movie was ruined by the 2-second James Gunn scene in it. That just tells you how people in the industry actually fucking feel about James Gunn. Not to be negative, but it's very likely that this movie was directed by like a lot of people who made Peacemaker.
I have not watched Peacemaker. I hated James Gunn's as The Suicide Squad.
Then you wouldn't like Peacemaker. But I feel like he has like a team of people. Craig Gillespie isn't one of them. Isn't one of his regular familiars. Well, I don't know what's the last movie he made. He made some like children's movie, I think, right?
Isn't Gillespie? Didn't he direct I, Tonya?
He did. I think Cruella.
And Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Oh, he made Cruella. You know what?
No, Eyes of Tammy Faye was Michael Showalter.
He probably knows Safran. He probably knows Safran. But just because you know Peter Safran doesn't mean you're a terrible fucking person. It just means you know. I mean, I know plenty of terrible fucking people.
Gillespie's last movie was Dumb Money, which was the GameStop Investment Bros movie.
Maybe he'll direct a sequel to Citizen Vigilante at some point. But I mean, he could. He really could. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Craig Gillespie. There's nothing wrong with Millie Alcock. There's nothing wrong with Matthias Sean Hartz. There's nothing wrong with David Krumholtz, I don't think. Right? There's nothing wrong with these people. It's James Gunn, it's the problem.
Although would Krumholtz's views align with the theme of Superman?
I mean, they do, I guess. But he's not.
Is he big into Palestine? Is he a self-hating Jew? I love Palestine.
I don't know what Krumholtz's politics are. I just got done rewatching ER, and on ER, he plays the mentally ill med student who stabs Dr. John Carter. I do not know what his politics are. I know what Michael Rappaport's politics are. I think because but I do not know what Krumholtz's politics are. I'm sure the Oscar Isaac business has been just terrible for him. Because how could it not be? It's terrible. Think about it. A lot of people think that Oscar Isaac was inhaled and came off. Oh, yeah, sure.
That's because Krumholtz was still skinny when he did that movie.
He looks different in Oppenheimer.
He looks like he lost some weight, though, for Supergirl. Yes. He looks in much better shape than he was just, a handful of years ago.
As we remember him.
He's probably the biggest in the Deuce, right?
Yes.
The last time I saw him was about 5 years ago. They brought him out on WWE Monday Night Raw as a fake Drew McIntyre impersonator. And Mick Foley made fun of him on Twitter. And he basically quit Twitter over it because he's like, how did the elf from the Santa Claus turn into that?
Oh, that is his. I've never seen Elf, so that is his big movie.
It was the Santa Claus. He was in the Santa Claus. He was the head elf.
Oh, he's in the Santa Claus, not in Elf. I've never seen Elf, But
No,
he
he's
is in
not
the
an
Santa
elf.
Claus.
He's the head elf in the Santa Claus, and I think he's in the 2 sequels also.
Yeah, he is.
Probably.
At least the second one.
The Escape Clause.
Hmm.
The best movie that he's in, and the best movie that Natasha Lyonne is in, is Slums of Beverly Hills. That's one of the many Fox movies that has been erased from history.
I never seen or I don't think I've even heard of that film.
It's great. It is just great. It is a work of greatness.
Heard of it. I can't remember if I've seen that one or not.
It is peak 1988 greatness.
All right, well let's get both of your ratings for
Yes.
Supergirl. Then we'll dive deeper into DC at large. So Brett, why don't you give us your rating and then Zolly can wrap it up.
Oh boy.
Oh, I on Letterboxd I gave it a 1 out of 5, and it's just barely a last resort.
It's a last resort.
It's not 100% unwatchable. It's not like, oh my God, get me out of here, but it's really, really bad.
Okay. Zolly, what did you
What would
think?
I gave it like a 2.5 on Letterboxd because it's not very good. It's it's just not. It's not like it's not because I hate James Gunn. It's just not like if you want to compare it to Supergirl from 1984 or 85, Schwartz's Supergirl. No, it's terrible, and that's not even a good movie. It's like an okay movie,
The Helen
but
Slater one?
yeah, but like this does not represent Supergirl as we know her the fuck at all, and it's a bad adaptation. Now, is it a good adaptation of Tom King's book? I don't know. Don't know. And I don't care.
Every day I see you reading. What's with this reading? Some guy makes up some story? Fuck him. It's a waste of time.
You know what? 21st century comics shouldn't be adapted anyway.
Yeah, we should mention Jason Momoa as Lobo. I thought he just sleepwalked
Just
through the
terrible.
entire movie. Like,
Yeah,
he
Sleeping
was so good in
Beetlejuice.
Fast X. He was so good in the Minecraft movie, and it's just like he shows up and is just like,
It just takes
you know,
shit.
as long as the check cashes, I'll show up and I'll put on the makeup or whatever. I'll put on the
So-
bodysuit and I'll read
so
your
low
lines, but I'm
quality.
not going to try.
So low quality and disappointing. Holy shit.
Do you think he
Holy
was
shit.
doing that out of protest?
It is possible.
Allegiance
His
to
spirit-
Snyder?
His spirit is fucking broken.
Well,
And
he's
his
been
spirit broke.
talking about how he's wanted to play Lobo for years. It's his dream role. And I don't know, maybe I mean it was a bad script, so like he didn't have much to work with. And
That was also after they took away Aquaman from him.
yeah.
Yeah, he was better. He was the generic badass character is better as Aquaman than as Lobo. He feels more authentically of the generic badass variety as Aquaman than he does as Lobo. Lobo is more Beetlejuice-ish. And
Like he needs to be like either super flamboyant or like a legit badass, and he was somewhere in between. Like it was,
Yeah.
you know, it didn't work. But
I don't mean to
know if it was all on, you know, it was at least in part because of the script and the direction. I don't think it was all on any of the actors, how bad a lot of it was. Lobo did get a few chuckles in the theater. That was as far as like people laughing at stuff in the movie. Like Lobo had like 3 or 4 lines that like maybe a handful of people laughed at, but that was about it. Like nobody laughed at anything else that happened. There was no clapping after the movie ended either. And they didn't turn the lights on after the credits started. And like I had read there's no end credits scene. So like I'm sitting there waiting for people to fucking leave because I'm sitting in the middle of the back row and everybody's just sitting there waiting for something to happen. And eventually I just got up and walked over everybody. But like, why didn't you turn the lights on when the movie was over? What the fuck?
Yeah, there's no post-credit scene.
All right, so let's, I guess, use Supergirl to kind of talk about DC at large. So James Gunn is currently filming. He's in principal photography for Man of Tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So he's
Well,
actually
the
making
movie's
it. Do you
done.
think it'll actually be made?
They made it. It has to come out now. And like I keep on saying, if they shelved Man of Tomorrow, I'd leave the charge to unshelve it. I mean, I would. Because there'd be a Superman movie that's shelved. Holy shit! Lex Luthor puts the power suit on. Oh my goodness! Yeah, I would demand that David Ellison release that and Batgirl. The goal is to get the unreleased superhero movies and animated adaptations, gentle team, down to the amount of shelved movies of all kinds to be as near zero as humanly possible. That's the whole point of the Twitter. That's why I'm on Twitter even. So if we were to heroically restore the Snyderverse and Man of Tomorrow got shelved, that would be fucking horrible for me. It would be horrible for me. Now, it'd be okay for the world, but I'd feel bad about it. But no, I'd feel bad about it because it meant that my victory of the culture, my restoration came at me becoming Avi Arad. Just as horrible. Just as horrible as Avi Arad. And then I'm fucking stuck in the fucking molded black suit, and I am just as bad as Timothy Chalamet, dude. And then fucking the toy collectors won, dude. He's won. Because then when I look in the mirror, I see Avi Arad laughing at me.
Do you think?
No.
Do you think after the merger they might sell Batgirl to somebody?
I think they'll put Batgirl on like Paramount Plus the day they can.
Okay.
I thought they permanently deleted the masters of Batgirl.
Think
That was
every
the deal.
editor who works on every movie has a copy. Like I have every project I've ever fucking worked on right there. So like that means at least 1,200 people in around Southern California with Macintoshes from 2022 to 2024 very, very likely have the completed or nearly fully completed picture locked Batgirl on their thing somewhere.
At least a work print, right?
Yeah, I mean, come on now. Come on now.
I mean, they did save Coyote versus Acme,
Yes.
which is supposedly coming out this year in August.
And even if you want to be like, we legally can't release it because of the tax thing, another studio can release it. Warner Brothers won't be releasing it. Hang on 1 second.
Sure.
1 second. I have to tend to the dog. 1 second. 1 second.
So, Brett, was there any special offerings for the Fan First event?
No, shockingly enough, they had nothing. No giveaways.
Not even a mini poster.
Not even like a special introduction before the trailers. They just had regular trailers, regular pre-show. Like usually with those things, like they'll have like some kind of specialized pre-show.
The dog is fine.
Okay.
And that's fine because this is really a movie about a dog.
Well, that's another thing. Like, why doesn't she just take the dog to a yellow sun planet so that
like
it
a
becomes
fucking
super?
space doctor who can cure it with or like burn the fucking poison out of the dog's bloodstream with your laser vision.
Like, how does this Marauder only have? They have the only antidote.
The dog is fucking
in the entire
Kryptonian. Take it
world.
to a fucking yellow sun.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, what
like,
the fuck?
Like she gets hit with like 5 of those things, but she's on a yellow sun planet, so it just doesn't affect her.
That's how you know he's not really a fan.
Yeah. I saw somebody else point out that the fact that they just easily jump planet to planet at will in their spaceships.
Mind you, I didn't think of it until now, though. None of us thought about that until like right. So it took us.
Yeah.
To James Gunn's credit, he may not have realized that was possible till later.
Because it questions the Kryptonians and why they didn't fucking leave.
Yeah, that is another thing. I mean, I think one of the things about the myths of Superman is the Kryptonians. This is sort of like Zionism, I guess. They refuse to leave Krypton. Like they won't. They just
Yeah.
won't. Like
Going
it's
down with the
bad.
ship.
Like if you leave Krypton, you're no longer Kryptonian or something. But like you can. Like people I mean Argo, the other which is exactly the fucking same as Krypton, I guess. Nobody ever thinks about any of the logical like Superman used to blast Krypton. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No. There are like a billion people in
Yeah,
Argo.
because there was like a chunk that broke off of the planet and everybody lived there for like 15, 20 years or whatever.
Well, I guess maybe Argonians are like the Palestinians of this equation. Like, there's Vulcans and Romulans, Kryptonians and but they're not Argonians are not the enemies of Krypton. There's no like you'll be an Argonian if you no. There's none of that. There's no blood feud.
You know, they thought it was cool in this movie, or it was like a funny thing, is they have a bus, like a spaceship bus,
Space bus, I know.
like a public transportation to go from one planet to the other, and there's a bus stop
Well, we're supposed to
shelter.
think that like her red sun assisted drug and alcohol use is so severe that she cannot surmount space flight unassisted.
Well, they steal her spaceship, is what
Well, does
happens.
she need it? Well, think about it. Superman doesn't need they don't need a spaceship they just fly through fucking space. I know
Yeah.
that Superman has a space and he has like a justice jogger and shit, but you don't need any of that.
But when
All
she
of
goes
that
to the
is-
red sun planet, she can't fly.
I know, but like it's weird. It's so there's a lot of weird shit in this movie about people who can fly using being unable to fly.
Yeah. And the space bus is flown by an alien
Seth Rogen.
that doesn't speak English, and it has a translator that's like a little guy that's voiced by Seth Rogen.
Seth fucking Rogen. Because of the Garth Ennis connection. Because of that. Because of the pro.
As if you didn't think that it could get any worse. Here comes Seth Rogen's stupid voice out of that little alien.
That's Seth Rogen, everyone, wanting everyone to know he's okay. James.
Seth Rogen, who claimed that Sylvester Stallone has made no more than 4 good movies.
You want to go?
Hey, guys.
That's like a lot of good movies, though.
What a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean,
Sylvester
like-
Stallone has made no fewer than 25 great movies.
At least 10. At least 10.
I mean, at least 4 of the Rocky movies are great.
Yes. You know, I'll actually say the first. I haven't actually seen Creed and Creed 2. I haven't seen Creed 2 and 3.
They're
But
pretty
I would
good.
actually say that all 6 Rocky movies are great. That is, and we have 6 plus 3.
I don't know about 5,
Randos.
but
4.
5
Actually,
isn't nearly as
we
bad
have
as
11.
people make it out to be.
Mm.
All of the
You have
Rambo
11
movies are
just
great.
Rocky and Rambo.
All of the Rambo movies are great. That's 5 right there.
I don't know
All
if
4
Rambo 5
expendable
is
movies
good.
are great. That's another 4.
I don't think I want to see the director's cut of 4.
So I don't like the director's cut of the first Expendables because they take out the boys are back in town at the end, which
I don't-
ruins the whole fucking movie.
I don't think I've seen the director's cut.
Why would they
Um,
do that? Why would they ruin the movie? The Expendables, the first one, the theatrical cut, is like a gentle, nice movie. The second one is the best of those. But can we call those Stallone? We can only credit Stallone for the first because that's his movie. I think maybe Seth Rogen is like Stallone directed movies. Stallone starred and directed movies. And that could be a smaller list, but you still have 6 Rocky movies, which are great.
Mhm. And there's
Right.
all the Rambo movies.
Yeah, I mean, you have at least, it's still, our list is like at 12.
Cliffhanger.
Plus 8. Yeah, Cliffhanger's great. The Specialist is okay.
Demolition
Judge Dredd.
Man.
You know, Stallone has at least 25 great movies.
Minimum.
Stallone was the movies. Stallone is the movies. Arnold was the movies.
Demolition Man.
Shit, Samaritan was great. Did you guys see
Too many to
Samaritan?
list.
No, I didn't see it.
Too many to list.
I don't think I can
Um,
watch it again because I think it's a Prime movie.
But yeah, Seth Rogen shuns James Franco, doesn't shun James Gunn.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's so proud of himself for for shutting out James Franco. I'll never talk to him again. The best thing James Franco ever had happen to him was Seth Rogen refusing to associate with him.
Getting back to DC, this revelation, or I should just say, prevailing thought that Man of Tomorrow 2 is not only being made but coming out is, I'm gonna have egg on my face, because when I had a tweet back when Superman came out, I had some tweet about how the second one was never going to come out. And there was a couple of, gun fanatics that bookmarked that tweet. So I know they're going to throw it back in my face as soon as Man of Tomorrow comes out.
Boy, I feel like a horse's patoot.
This damn merger took way too long.
Oh shit! I'm gonna say something really fucking mean, aren't I? You shouldn't care what the James Gunn.
Well, I don't, but
no. Well, because
I would have preferred Man of Tomorrow 2 just not be made and just either get Snyder or somebody else.
No, I get it, but like you shouldn't care what they think, because they're all people like Fluffy and worse.
Mm-hmm.
Their opinions don't fucking matter. They're all abused or abusers themselves. They just pretend they don't exist.
Well, I remember I saw some tweet the other day. It was some, gun fanatic trying to dunk on the Snyder Bros, or people he perceived to be Snyder Bros, people hating on Supergirl, saying that, they're killing sex traffickers, child traffickers. Why wouldn't you like that? It automatically makes it a great movie. And I was thinking, there's no way this fucking douche saw, was it Cry or Sound of Freedom?
The Sound of Freedom. I guess that's cool unless Jim Caviezel's doing it.
Yeah.
Caviezel didn't kill everybody. He just arrested them.
There's no fucking way they watched Sound of Freedom.
Did they see The Protector with, what's her name now?
Well,
Paul Anderson's wife.
Part of me thinks a lot of this is like a horrible trick has been played on these people. Like, because James Gunn hates his fans. I mean, he hates them. He hates them in the same way that like Mason Verger, hates the chill. He's horrible. So like he probably thinks it's like funny to watch Mark Waid and other people try to justify his shit. No, yeah, because like think about it. He's a Trump guy secretly. I mean, we all know what James Gunn's politics are. So he fucking hates these non-Jewish Hollywood liberals just on their knees saying shit. Because he's a sadist. He's horrible to them too. He's not what I'm saying on Twitter, like about like Rachel Leisman and the people that collide it. I'm being totally genuine. They have a horrible thing that they have to do, and nobody's nice to them about it, especially not the people they work for. James Gunn and Peter Safran relish the cruelty they can do to people who are not allowed to say no to them. Okay? They fucking live to do that. So I feel very bad for they have chosen poorly in life to be shunned and shamed by the only audience that would have ever accepted them. But most of these people came in with Joss Whedon in 2003, and they were never really a part of the culture. Joss Whedon and Kevin Smith were always welcome. The people they brought in with them were not welcome. That's why Kevin Smith plays a character now. He plays like the safe nerd anti Chris Hardwick. Because the Chris Hardwick thing scared the shit out of all these fucking people. Kevin Smith is great, but he owes his entire shit to the Miramax rape room, and I'm sure that bothers him somewhat. But
yeah,
Kevin Smith, Quentin Tarantino, and Rob Rodriguez, to me, are no different than like the astronauts of the Apollo mission. Buzz Aldrin needed Nazi death camps for him to land on the moon. Okay, that sucks, but there's no Buzz Aldrin the hero without Treblinka and Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen. And that is horrible. That is horrible. But that is the horrifying nature of how shit is. Now, I don't want to compare the crumbling DC IP to the moon landing, but it involves the same overall stuff, the same overall problem. Rebel moon landing.
let's shift gears a little bit within DC. Now, in the past, I would say maybe about a year ago,
Yeah.
you would talked about rumblings of the Batman Part 2 with Matt Reeves, and you didn't want to get into it at that time.
Fuck it, I'll tell you.
But
what it
right
is.
now, I've
I'll
been
tell
seeing some tweets, and I know you're very willing to get into it.
Everyone in the press, everyone in Variety, everyone in Hollywood Reporter, everyone at Collider, they know that Matt Reeves has a terminally ill kid, and that's what's going to happen. Now, the reason why that's horrible is because this all started because Zack Snyder's daughter died. She committed suicide. But the Batman business, the first big problem in the business of selling Batman shit happened in May of 2017. And the Matt Reeves situation is exactly the fucking same. Everyone knows about it. Everyone wants to scoop it, wants to talk about it, but they're all scared of dancing on a small coffin, including me. Excuse me.
Has anyone like a Grace Randolph or any of those types, have they broke the story yet that he has a terminally ill son
situation
or child?
Is worse than the Chad Boseman situation because it's a kid, it's a child.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why for like 5 years there's been no movement because the studio, even what's left of it, doesn't want to promote another tragedy. And Warner Brothers has a problem. Warner Brothers has had a long problem with dead children, and this is the 43rd anniversary of the Twilight Zone, also. So yeah, and I want Zack Snyder's kid, Twilight Zone kids, Matt Reeves' kid. But as I said to some of my friends on Twitter, one of my goals, and this is going to sound like my shelved film thing, is the amount of kids that die for superhero garbage should be as close to zero as possible. And right now it's at 1.5, which is very, very bad. That's as bad as it could possibly be. As bad as it could possibly be. That is also why a lot of people won't even talk about the Matt Reeves Batman because they're aghast that people are even promoting and selling. Like, oh, look at this page of this script. Look at the thread on this. They're disturbed by it. That's also why Barry Keoghan and Zoe Kravitz did not return. They declined to Batman Return. So,
well, why don't they just have? I mean, does Matt Reeves not want to take a back seat? Does he not want to take time off? Do they not want to put in someone to replace him for 2 and he comes back for 3?
Really fucking mean. It's going to sound very mean. Stan Wytek and Movie Dweller and some other people, including me, do not actually think Matt Reeves is the creative force behind those movies. I'm not sure that Matt Reeves is. He probably made the 3 Planet of the Apes movies. But I think that a lot of the shit he does, he just ghost directs for Bad Robot. And it is J.J. Abrams' Batman franchise in the only. Because J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot wanted to consume Warner during COVID. And that's why you have that Batman the Caped Crusader cartoon. He wanted to own the Batman brand in his hubris, which, God bless him, was smart. What The Rock and J.J. Abrams tried to do the exact same thing. They just went about it different. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't, it's Matt, no, I don't want to say that Matt Reeves is cursed. Matt Reeves did not bring this tragedy upon himself. I know the Slavic part of me would say that he did. No, he did not. Because there was always going to be a Batman movie that followed Ben Affleck's Batman 10 years. In a healthy society, in a healthy, stable society, right? So you can't be like there's a Superman curse. Whoever plays Superman ends up fucked somehow. We don't want to say that. And there isn't a Superman. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because it looks like there kind of is, especially today. But yeah, the stalling with the Batman 2 is because promoting all of it is impossible. Not just with the Snyder Bros and their misogynist Republican insult talking points. No, it's impossible for all the people in Hollywood to sell that.
So, from what you're hearing, the illness. It is terminal.
Well, I hope the kid recovers. I'm proven wrong, and they can be like, "No, what are you talking about? The kid was always fine." But
Mhm.
the way all these old boomer types are talking about it means that they assumed the kid is fucked and dead and going to die, and it's horrible. That's horrible. It is horrible. This is the grisly, awful shit. And some of them are probably making jokes about it as they still make Twilight Zone jokes. I mean, we all say like, not all those kids got to be short round. It's fun. It's fun. It is funny to say that.
How
And
old
that
is
is
Matt
probably true.
Reeves' kid? Because Matt Reeves is 60.
Well, we don't know how old the kid is. He could have a shit ton of kids.
All these Hollywood types are starting to their families out in their 40s now.
But yeah, a bunch of
Tarantino just
people.
had his first kid when he was like 60, 58.
That's true. Yes.
The News Corp people won't break it. The Collider people won't break it. Because you forget is at the high level, people coordinate their stories and embargo them. And this has been embargoed for fucking years.
Called
Years and years and
synergy.
years. My guess is Grace Randolph only leaked it last April of 2025, because she hates El Mayembe, Alberto Gonzalez of all the former Donner Company interns hate each other.
What did Randolph leak?
She leaked the fact that Matt Reeves' kid has cancer.
Okay, so she did
Yes.
break that
Oh yeah.
story.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That
Okay.
was when I knew for sure it was real. Because the way I heard all these boomer CEOs talking about Matt Reeves, I thought he was sick. I thought he had Black Panther syndrome. No. No, no, no. Like, what could be worse than a man dying? A dog dying. That is worse. I know. I know it's worse. And James Gunn threatens that in this movie. But no. A kid dying is the worst. A kid dying over Batman is the most worst.
So, what do you think's going to happen now with the merger?
Well,
It was approved. It's going to happen. So, what happens to Gunn and DC?
Let's pretend that, like, for whatever reason, Dave Allison decides to maintain the course and make 5 more years of James Gunn shit. That would be the same as making 3 more sequels to Tron at Disney. They're not going to do that. They only have to make one more. They only have to deal with one more James Gunn Superman thing, and that is the Man of Tomorrow. And it probably isn't going to make money because I'm sure Supergirl's failure is counting against it. I'm sure that Supergirl and Man of Tomorrow and the Superman movie from last year were made nearly simultaneously, almost like television. Remember, he's very fast. He's the best people from Troma were Oliver Stone, Trey Park, and James Gunn. Yes, it's true. It's true. I mean, it is true. That is the factually true thing to say.
Yeah.
And I'm sure even James Gunn would say that compared to Trey Parker, he is nothing. And I don't mean that mean like an asshole. I mean like compared to Trey Parker, he is fucking. Compared to Trey Parker, most people are nothing. The only person you could compare to Trey Parker is like Seth MacFarlane.
Not writing wise.
Well, yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone's politics are
Apparently
because
ever
they don't like
changing.
Donald Trump, so they might as well be up. They are oppositionists. They are oppositionists to the end, and that's good. That's good.
Well, I mean, they've always been libertarians, that throughout their history have always seemed to hate the left more than the right. But ever since, I guess, Trump's second term, they're like, I guess, placating to the left, trying to skewer the right more.
Well, I mean, as a contrarian comedian, it is very hard to agree with power. It looks
Right.
ugly. You look like that's why they hated all the late night people under Obama, because they loved Obama too much. You look like such a loser when you're talking about how great Daddy Trump is, like a fucking loser.
Yeah.
You look terrible, which I get it. And part of me has always said that Seth MacFarlane pretends to be liberal because Seth MacFarlane was a close personal friend of Rush Limbaugh. Okay.
Yeah, you had Rush Limbaugh on Family
That
Guy
is-
2 or 3 times.
So that means
yeah.
he's either very, very, very tolerant, or it's just fake. Because you never know with people at Hollywood. They
Well, how many
want
times did they have James Woods on the Family Guy?
a lot.
Mhm.
A
A
lot.
lot.
But then again, there are a lot of people who just find Republicanism funny because it
Mhm.
is. The weird thing about American culture is we are very fucking McCarthyists. We do not believe in free association, which table you sit at, the way you cuff your pants and shit. It's very
We used
weird.
to, not anymore.
It's very weird when people intermingle. We don't know how to deal with that. Like, what? Why would that be? Why would a left wing comedian hang out with Rush Limbaugh? Why would they do? You don't know. You don't know.
You remember Ellen DeGeneres basically got canceled not for being mean, but for hanging out with George W. Bush.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, the same thing. And imagine how that'd be if like someone like look at the Donald Trump concert. It's the same thing. It's because he's both Donald Trump and he's the office of the president. So people aren't sure what to do. Like, do you meet the guy at his office, or do you say no, fuck you?
Yeah, they're trying to cancel Nate Bargatze for going to the White House UFC show.
That isn't an impossible. Getting asked to go to the White House and then thinking about whether or not it's going to be a good or bad thing is an impossible logic and influential problem. I don't know how I'd handle it. Like, like what the fuck? What do you do? Do you just put a target on your back? Because like you still have in your head from grade school you have to go to the fucking White House to get your fucking letter or some bullshit. So like if you're given like this honorary bullshit invitation or an award to something, it doesn't matter who the guy is in office, you're gonna want to do that, right? But because of the way things are, a lot of people will be afraid to do that. And that is I have no idea how kids in grade school are. Like what do they do in like civics class when they talk about the president? Do they have to have Orwell Hate Week or something? I have no idea. Like how do you talk about Schoolhouse Rock type shit? Like how do you talk about President Donald Trump neutrally with third graders? I don't know how any teacher does that in modern, like I don't even know what that fucking looks like. It's probably like wild, and that's okay, but that means that institutionally there's no nothing anymore. Because if the guy in charge is just a piece of shit, then why do you call the judge your honor? Why don't you just call him, a cunt or something? But no, it is true. If you don't have to respect the office of president, why can't you address a judge as cunt? And that's like some George Carlin shit right there. But if decorum is gone, all decorum is gone. Maybe you don't have to wash your hands after you go in the bathroom. Like, why? Like, why should I? Why should I?
I've been living without decorum since 1986.
Wait, what?
I mean, number two, not number one. You don't need to actually, unless you fucking make sandwiches, you don't need to wash your hands. You have to go and pee. Nobody does that.
You're not touching yourself if you're at the urinal.
You don't
You
always
unsheath, you go.
You don't always have to. If you do a perfect samurai movement, you do not have to touch your wiener. You can actually, because a lot of times I'm scared to touch my peen with my dirty hands. Because the world is horrible. And
Mulder's like Michael Shannon from Shape of Water.
Well, that's what. Remember that toy, the ball in a cup. You got to try and catch it. That was just training to try and. That was the same movement to try and put your junk back in your shorts. The ball in the cup.
Who needs constant electronic video stimulation when there's ball in a cup? Mexico's favorite toy for over 340 years. toss the ball, catch it in the cup, dump it out of the cup, toss it, and catch it in the cup again. The ball is on a string and attached to the cup, so there's no worry if you don't catch the ball in the cup, and cleanup is as easy as catching a ball in a cup. So why spend another day not catching a ball in a cup when you could be catching a ball in a cup?
Ball in a cup, ball in a cup, it's a ball in a cup. Ball in a cup, ball in a cup.
The best move, and what I've always done, is I go to the special needs stall and just drop the trowel. So I don't have to do anything. I don't have to aim. But at a urinal, you will have to at least use one finger. But I only use one finger because I'm always worried of touching my wiener with my dirty hands. No, because like my junk is in my pants. It does not touch the exterior. It doesn't touch stuff at Target.
It doesn't touch stuff at Target, I hope not.
It doesn't touch the door at Target, okay?
What are you doing behind closed doors in the shipping and receiving at Target?
I am wary of what's on public services, like escalator handles and shit, elevator buttons. You do not want to be touching your genitalia with those hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. You know, it's good to wash your hands after going to the bathroom, especially if you don't wash your hands after you go number 2, you're going to go to hell. But that is the question. I don't know how a high school talks about Donald Trump. I don't know how any structured environment where you pretend like the world is ordered talks about having President Trump.
Well, with Parker and Stone, I see it makes perfect sense to go after Trump, but to the extent that they're doing it and coupling that with the fact that they basically bent the knee to Al Gore over the climate change stuff, it's kind of like, I don't know. They want to be the homecoming king and prince, I guess.
It's entirely possible that what you have this institutional cooking is that I was going to say Star Trek. It's entirely possible that late period South Park for the Paramount Plus thing is more about pleasing the animation pool than it is about pleasing the viewers. Because the viewers are they're all our age. They're no longer that stimulated by it. Like, it's no longer like forbidden. It's no longer new. Eric Cartman is no longer new and shocking. We are no longer in the world of 1998. We can't go back there, you know. The South Park is now wholesome and like this Norman Lear thing. Back in 98, 99, it was like as dangerous as a school shooting almost. Like, oh no. Oh no. And that world is gone. That world is fully gone. And the South Park of 97 and 98 was a very angry show. A very angry, forceful, purposeful, percussive show.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't watch it. The South Park, if you rewatch South Park season 1 through like 10, they've been digitally reanimated with Maya. They are not the original shows.
Because you have the DVDs.
Yes, the DVDs are the Rhino DVDs in the Snappers. The Snapper cases are the actual original broadcast versions. Those versions are not available anywhere anymore. The actual technical craftsmanship, the artwork, the real actual artwork that started with The Spirit of Christmas and went on into South Park the show has been erased from fucking history. Nobody was more disturbed about the special edition Star Wars changes than Matt Stone and Trey Parker, but they have done something just as ghastly to their own archive. I don't even know if they're aware of it. They might be completely unaware that it's even happened. But the entirety of South Park has been reanimated up to modern standards.
Mm.
And this was done, I think, maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
This is a practice that this happened to Toy Story and Toy Story 2 as well. They are re-rendered in 1080p. The original rendered resolution of Toy Story was something like 1380 by 1270 or something. It was a 166 aspect ratio. Not a normal resolution ratio, just like a weird, esoteric 1995 computer format. And the video versions are superficially different as they are different renderings. And so that means the marvel, no pun intended, of Pixar's first movie as it really was can only be seen on Laserdisc, tape, and DVD.
I
And
still have my
glossy.
VHS, just like Taylor Swift.
Yes. There you go. There you go. That's the original version of Toy Story with its original renderings, with no alterations to anything. Except it's pan and scan, it's a tape.
Yeah.
But
I heard Taylor Swift wrote the end credits theme song for Toy Story 5 in 38 minutes.
That's like short.
And
Now, I've not seen Toy
also
Story
somebody else
5.
kind of wrote it for her. So
I have not seen the fifth Toy Story movie.
I did not care for it. It's very boomer coded. It's all it's Jessie is the main character, played by Joan Cusack, who sounds old as fuck. Like she sounds like she's halfway in the grave already. And it's the whole thing is how she hates technology and it's killing play. And kids need to get off their screens and go out and play and use their imagination.
Technology is a horrible thing.
And don't get friends on the internet. Get other friends, get different friends, because those friends on the internet aren't the right kind of friends.
Well, I suppose it's true. It is. You shouldn't talk to people on the internet. That is a good message for the youths. Well, because it's all about like scaring parents. Like they'll be talking to child groomers like James Gunn. Isn't that great how I can pivot right to the thing? Yeah, I know. I know.
I was gonna say when we had our unplanned dick talk earlier, it kind of ties into Supergirl because there's a scene where Crypto pees on a newspaper headline about Superman, and then there are two scenes where adults urinate in front of a 13-year-old girl.
That's yeah. That's that's
Yes, and she is 13, 1 year younger than the Polanski victim.
She says it. She says it in the movie, so you know.
So you know.
I thought the Polanski victim was 13.
I think she was yeah, 13, 14, who knows? Probably the exact same. Only James Gunn would know for sure. We'll take his word on it. He's probably the expert.
He is an expert.
He would tell you what kind of pool Jack Nicholson had too. That's because he studied the event. Like, oh, I'm an expert on Polanski.
I did see the trailer for Clayface. Where does Clayface fall into all this DC stuff?
Isn't canon to the Battery? I don't. It would be. Here's what they're presuming: is that this Clayface exists in the David Cornsweet Superman universe, and in this universe there is a Batman we don't know.
Yeah, it's being the trailer is like straight up like treating it like a horror movie. Like the only indication that it's any kind of DC or comic book related is they show the DC logo at the beginning, but that's the rest of it they treat it like a straight horror movie.
My ultimate feeling, and it's probably very true. We forgot that Clayface is a DC movie. If Joker failed, Clayface is gonna fail worse because nobody cares about Clayface. Nobody. Also, Clayface and Mr. Freeze have the same origin, goddamn. They both get thrown in the shit by the guy. The guy throws him in the mutant shit.
That's like every Batman villain gets thrown in a vat of
Joker
shit.
gets thrown in the shit also. That's true. There's a fell in shit, and now you are a villain.
Co-written by
villainy.
Clayface, co-written by Mike Flanagan. He also came up with the story.
Why did he write for James? It's probably because he wanted to like uncancel someone. Like he was unfairly canceled by Ben Shapiro for making jokes on Twitter, harmless jokes on Twitter. Ben Shapiro probably didn't cancel him. Ben Shapiro probably likes fucking Peacemaker. Probably likes all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Probably talks to Kevin Feige. He probably discuss things. Of course they do. Of course they do. He talks to J.J. Abrams.
I recently rewatched the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and they hold up. I liked them. I saw them in the theater when they came out, and I liked them. and I was a little surprised at how well they held up. But like, it's such an anomaly in James Gunn's resume. Those first two movies, especially, it's like Marvel must have had him on a short leash or something, because like nothing he's done outside of those two movies is anywhere close to being as good.
Yeah, it's a troubling. Yeah, I just don't know.
Well, Zolly, I know you got to leave in a little bit.
Well, I say Clayface loses money. I say it loses lots of money. I
Well,
say making it was a bad
I
idea.
guess I mean, I'm sure all their stuff will lose money.
Eventually, this is the true thing is though, assuming that like it gets good again at some point, then it'll all accrue value because it'll always be there on HBO Max or Paramount Plus somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
getting clicks and views. So if the Batman brand recovers, eventually Joker for You Do and Clayface the movie make money. Eventually.
Eventually.
IMDb says the Clayface budget is estimated at 40 million,
That is a season of Law and Order.
which is considerably lower than the other DC movies.
And if everybody buys the Steelbook on day one, it'll eventually break even. And it's entirely possible it's fine. We don't know how much Man of Tomorrow really costs. Man of Tomorrow probably costs about as much as 3 episodes of Canadian Superman and Lois. Yeah, probably. Oh yeah. We only think it costs more because we're used to big spectacles. But no, that's not what they're doing.
So you talk about, well, if DC ever turns around, if Batman or Superman can ever become profitable again, I got a kind of a long-winded question for you.
Yeah.
It seems like James Gunn is not going to be the man to do that.
It does not look like that.
Now, as much as I would like Snyder to be hired back and have the Snyderverse come back, I just don't think it's possible, because setting aside the Ezra Miller stuff, that whole mess, I love Amy Adams. Very attractive woman. I don't think you can sell a 50-plus-year-old Lois Lane to people.
I don't know how it's going to work either. And to be
It comes back, it's got to be, okay, we haven't seen this Lois Lane in 10 years. I mean, you can get over it initially by like, hey, it's been 10 years since we've seen this Lois Lane because it's the Snyderverse and it's back. But now it's like hiring, everyone doing the fan casting with Bond is like, I want this person to play him. Like, well, he's fucking 50. Like, yeah, okay, he can play Bond for one movie, but not 3, 4, 5,
This is going to sound horrible, but back in 2013, people thought that Amy Adams was maybe too old to be Lois Lane then. And I know it's a horrible thing to say, but there's a real...
And I still find her attractive. She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah. But
love her as Lois Lane.
If you're over 40, there's a huge problem in Hollywood for a woman. That's also in the rest of the world also, too, not just Hollywood. But, I mean, it is. There's a huge... thing.
But you can't have a 55-year-old Lois Lane being drugged into the bathtub by Henry Cavill.
It's gonna be different. It's gonna be a little different. But my feeling is that JL2 and 3 would have a more established Justice League universe that it inhabits. So it might be okay.
It's just like, every minute that passes, we're losing daylight. Everyone's getting older.
Yeah.
If we can fix the Ezra Miller thing, great. But everyone's getting older. And obviously the industry is more unfair to women than it is men. Ben Affleck getting old is fine. Batman is grizzled in that universe. That's fine.
It is the Amy Adams problem is the question. Now, mind you, Amy Adams is only in like 5 scenes in Justice League 2 or 3. When you think about it. Because she's only in the second one for like the movie.
She'll be like Pepper Potts in the subsequent Marvel outings after like the first
kind of like that. And she's only
couple appearances.
You guys know the plot of Justice League 2 and 3, right?
Was it do we get into Nightmare?
Yeah, what happens is at the end of Justice League 2, Lex Luthor's plan works too well, and Darkseid breaks into the Batcave, blasts Lois Lane in, and turns Superman into Darkseid. Then Superman kills Lex Luthor, and Batman screams because Superman has been consumed with darkness. Cut to 5 years later, Batman in the Nightmare. Then Justice League 3 is the future Nightmare Squad sending the Flash back in time right to the moment, right to the moment where Darkseid kills Amy Adams. And because history has been corrected, Batman is able to jump through the bulletproof plexiglass separating him in the previous timeline from Amy Adams and absorb Darkseid's Omega beams himself because he is that alpha and survive it, kind of.
So it's a bit Wrath
And
of
he
Khan.
doesn't die until he suicide bombs Darkseid's thing with the Batplane.
Okay.
But he turns up alive again in the Dark Ages somehow, reincarnated because of because of DC Final Crisis. It's not clear entirely. It doesn't matter. It'll be satisfying, and everyone will like it a great deal.
I mean, J-Lo has done some movies recently where she's playing basically like a 40-year-old, even though she's like
Yes, we'll just
55.
pretend that
And
Amy
she
Adams
looks great. So, I mean, Amy Adams could do that for a little while, I feel
They'll
like.
just say Amy Adams is she's still, And remember, Superman has a kid. They have a junior.
Yeah, it wasn't she was pregnant at the end of the Snyder
Yeah,
Cut.
so maybe the kids are already a thing. It's entirely possible that JL2 and 3, I don't want to sound sacrilegious or apostolical or whatever. They might have to change them a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they made a bunch of Aquaman movies, Shazam movies. There were more DC movies made between them, so the shit is a little different. I am not of the belief of the Aquaman. A lot of the Snyder fans say that the Aquaman movies are non-canon. I say that's stupid. Of course they're fucking everything we see is canon. There's no non-canon. There's nothing in the two fucking Aquaman movies that conflict with anything that could go forward. I know people are like, but Zack Snyder said Aquaman's father was dead. And in Aquaman, the movie, his father, it doesn't, things change. Arthur Curry's father's dead, Arthur Curry's father's alive. The idea process changes shit. My feeling is that JL2 and 3 will have to be changed somewhat. Like maybe Superman and Lois already have a kid. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's different. Maybe there's no Legion of Doom playing anymore. Maybe it's different. Maybe if they give Snyder back his thing, he doesn't even want to do what he set out to do initially. He wants to do it all again, for all we know. Who knows?
What percentage chance do you give the Snyderverse of coming back?
Well, when we say the Snyderverse comes back, we mean Zack Snyder takes over again.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably like 80% gonna happen.
Really?
But will
that high?
they actually continue with what they did before? I don't know. I don't know if they can. I'd like to think they can, but I do not know if they will. But I think what'll happen is you'll get like a Zack and Debbie Snyder DC thing after the James Gunn thing is over.
But that means we might have to wait another year? Or when does Man of Tomorrow come out?
Next May. It won't affect it. It won't affect it.
But that means like another year and a half then, because they're gonna
Doesn't matter.
Wait a little bit.
But when they made the Flash movie, they had already made the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, so they really didn't care about people being confused about how many Batmans or Supermans there are. They don't give a shit. For all we know, that they could have a Snyder project immediately following Man of Tomorrow, for all we know.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could be staggered. They could decide that we could just continue making mid-budget James Gunn shit and prestige shit. And, because remember, Skydance makes Star Trek and they make all these Republican shows. They serve lots of different demos. They do not care who watches it. They just want eyes and views. Shit, they put U-Ball's first shift on their service. They play the game. They know what they're doing. But they really could. They really could be like, we could have both Snyder DC and James Gunn DC, and use the fueling push-pull inverted cold fusion fan movements to sustain our bullshit forever. And that is probably very tempting. Oh, because everyone talking about the product is free promotion. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm horrible.
Okay.
I'm so horrible. I'm so busy.
No worries.
I'm so busy. Yeah, there's a new U-Bowl movie that some people are talking about. Maybe they're talking about it more than Supergirl. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. My copy hasn't arrived yet.
You're not going to watch it on X, huh? You're going to wait for your copy?
No, I can't watch it on small. You gotta watch. You have to respect U-Bowls.
Aren't you going to rent it on Apple TV?
Just to boost numbers, I might have to.
No.
I'm not like, I'm not. I'm just a U-Bowl evangelist here. I'm just glad that he's finally.
Yeah, Elon Musk had tweeted the entire movie, but it's not on there anymore.
I know. He loved it so much.
How much do you think you paid Bull to post it on X?
I don't. I hope that he can at least get a movie made out of that.
I mean, I know the publicity led to money for Bull, but you would have think he would have given like, hey, give you 10 grand and let me post it on Twitter.
I didn't talk to Yippee Video about this, but
I would have liked to see it in the theater, but the closest one that had it here was in St. Michael, and that's like an hour drive for me.
Oh boy. I know the guy who runs the U.S. video distribution for this movie, and I suggested he go into business with U-Ball because he helped me on the Captain America project a while back, and I owed him a solid. I did not expect this to result, but and you're wondering how many copies the one who Grox bought of the movie. He probably bought a lot of copies. I'm sure that he is passing them out to his employees.
Yeah.
How could he not? I know that he sold a pallet to die. I don't know if you want to have the secret inside Jewish baseball talk.
I do.
But the first thing he did was he made a deal with Jesse Diabolic, to send half this shit there. Because the feeding frenzy, that's why I'm so busy. It's not just because of that, but it's also because of that. It's good. It's great for the world. A lot of people have been in my DMs being like, how could you associate yourself with someone as horrible as U-Ball? They don't know U-Ball. They don't know U-Ball, and they're just repeating the articles in Variety.
They couldn't name one of his movies.
Yeah, I know. Like,
not that I can name a ton, but I can name some.
YouTube, like, I assure you, U-Ball is a safe person in the artistic sense. I was gonna make a documentary about U-Ball's restaurant when he had a restaurant. Yeah, I was.
Wow.
Because at one point he abandoned filmmaking for gastronomy. Yes, I'm serious. He's like, food is the art. Movies are shitty. He got over it. It's fine. It happens. Anyway, I have to go. I'm so sorry.
All right. Thank you so much, Zolly. Godspeed. We'll see you next time. All right. So I guess we can segue into the movie challenge with a little movie recommendation, huh? We didn't do that again at the front because we need to not waste Zolly's talents on the movie recommendations.
Are you watching the movies I recommended?
Well, what do you recommend?
Well, the movie that I'm going to recommend today is It's Sick, It's Dirty, It's Their Job, Dirty Work. This is the Vinegar Syndrome's 4K release, which includes the dirtier cut. This movie from 1998, starring Norm Macdonald and directed by Bob Saget, was a big part of my childhood. I guess I would have been 12 when it came out, but watched it all the time on VHS. Had it on DVD, and it was never really on Blu-ray. There was some sort of a a very limited Blu-ray. Like I've seen pictures of it online, but I've never seen it in real life. Don't know anyone who has it. All intents and purposes, it was not released on Blu-ray. So now it finally was by Vinegar Syndrome about a year ago. And they put in this dirtier cut, the mythical, long thought to be lost, R-rated version of Dirty Work. Norm Macdonald and his best friend, played by Artie Lang, who open a revenge for hire business so that they can raise $50,000 to get his friend's father, Artie Lang's father, a heart. He needs a new heart. Played by Jack Warden, of course. The cast is stellar. Adam Sandler makes a cameo. You got Chris Farley, supporting role. Don Rickles. Who else is it? Jim Downey. Blanking on some names. Rebecca Romaine has a fun cameo. Not in the dirtier cut, though. Her scene was cut from the dirtier cut, which is my one gripe with the dirtier cut. And that they use a different scene. They take hers out, put a different one in. And I love that scene. But the film is hilarious. It's a very different experience watching on Blu-ray or 4K, because if you watch the DVD, it is very much an aughts DVD, if you know what I mean. It's that very early aughts digital look. It's kind of the dirty DVD. You know, sometimes you put in a DVD and it's looking pretty good. This is one of those that isn't as good. Everything's unrefined. You watch the Blu-ray, you watch it in high definition or 4K, it's a completely different movie. And then they actually put in a different movie because it's the dirtier cut. So it's like over 7 minutes are different. They're using different takes. They're adding in scenes. They took 1 or 2 scenes out. So it's a different cut of the movie. It's a different experience. I'm going to keep my DVD because, I mean, that's kind of how I remember it, if that makes sense. It's when I want to watch it like I did, I guess before 2025, I'm going to watch the DVD. And there's reason to. Now, this release does come with the theatrical cut as well, but it looks too good. So if you want that dirtier look, if you want to relive some memories you had watching it in the aughts or the late 90s, you got to watch that DVD. But it's hilarious. Norm Macdonald is one of my favorites ever, maybe favorite comedian, definitely in my top 3. He's kind of our generation's Andy Kaufman, wouldn't you say? You know, someone who's a genius, but maybe underappreciated in their time. He's like a funny Andy Kaufman. Now, I love Andy Kaufman, but he himself would describe himself as a song and dance man, not a comedian. Norm's a stand-up. He doesn't really like doing anything else. And it's very evident in his acting in all of his movies. But
Norm's a joke teller.
Yes. I can't recommend Dirty Work enough. Go out and see it. Buy that Vinegar Syndrome release. I don't know if, I got it on a sale. They just got done with a sale. I just had that shipment come in finally. Only took over a month. But I'm sure they have sales every other month. Especially if you're a member, they probably have flash sales. And you get better deals anyways. Are you a member of their rewards if you go on their website and sign up?
Maybe.
Because you get points for everything you buy.
I don't remember if I signed up for that or not. I might be.
Because I got an email saying like, hey, you should review this movie that you just bought. Because we'll give you 50 points for the review. And if you add a photo, that's another 25 points. So I'm like, wow. I just got 5 movies. I'm going to review every one of these fucking things. Get as many points as I can. And they're like, yeah, you already had, I can't remember. I think they give you 2 points for every $1 you buy, I think. Because I want to say I had 88 points before my new, which was because I bought this on there. Like there was a pre-sale sale. There was like a pre-order sale or something. I got it at a discount for like $45. It was still $45 after the discount.
Those are friend prices.
It was like 44 or something. So I think they give you 2 points for every $1 you spend, because I had 88 points. And then I spent, I don't know, just over 100 on my last shipment from them. So they gave me like 200 and some points. So my points are starting to add up, and I'm wondering how much I can get for like every point. I bet you 500 points is like, here's $5. Fuck
Yeah.
you. Come on.
I don't remember if I signed up for the rewards or not. If I did, I've never looked at them. So I'll have to see.
They might just have it if you've ordered from them online.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like I
they seem
think
to
I have
have
an
your
account
history.
with them, but I don't know if I've ever looked at the rewards stuff.
I understand some of their high prices. You know, they're doing the Lord's work. They're restoring. There's a great video on YouTube that they kind of put out to promote the Dirty Work 4K. That is the great lengths that they went to not just get all the footage, but to figure out where it went. I mean, it was pretty in depth. Taking years to compile everything and put it together for the dirtier cut. And they did, they're like Criterion, they clean up the video, they clean up the audio as much as they can. So they really do great restorations. So support them in all that they do. All right. What are you going to recommend, Brett?
All right. Keeping in with the superhero comic book theme here, my recommendation is Punisher Warzone from 2008. It's the second Punisher movie from the 2000s. It stands alone. It's not really a sequel to the 2004 Punisher starring Thomas Jane and John Travolta. This one stars Ray Stevenson as Frank Castle, the Punisher. Dominic West and Doug Hutchison are the villains. They play Jigsaw and Looney Bin Jim, respectively. They are the all-stars of this movie, especially Doug Hutchison, but Dominic West really hams it up too. It's very much like one of the last comic book movies to come out kind of before the MCU took over. It was released under the Marvel Knights studio, if you will, which I don't know if Marvel Knights did anything else. It was like the underground Marvel characters. And I believe Lionsgate was the one that distributed it. Like I said, it's not related to the 2004 Punisher really. He's got a different backstory. It's set in a different city, but it's like one of the last new metal movies. It's a very new metal movie.
Okay.
You get a lot of new metal on the soundtrack. It's got that green tint that was really hot in the 2000s.
Sure. What year was it?
2008.
Okay.
It would have come out like the same year as Iron Man and The Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
But it's not related to the MCU in any way. Unfortunately, they didn't continue with the Punisher movies. And I haven't seen the Punisher TV series or streaming series that they did. But anyways, the Punisher Warzone, it's ultra violent. You get these very colorful villains, it's like a live action cartoon almost, which I love. It's a very ultra violent live action cartoon. Ray Stevenson is a serviceable Frank Castle. He comes in and he kicks ass. Wayne Knight plays Micro. He's like his arms dealer and internet hacker.
Micro.
It's a classic kind of revenge thing. Well, it's not really a revenge thing. The other Punisher movie is more of a revenge movie, but it's more of a revenge for Jigsaw because Jigsaw gets his face all ripped up at the beginning of the movie, and then he wants to take out the Punisher. And if you've seen the what is it, 2012's Dread, like the climax of Punisher Warzone is basically ripped off by that movie Dread, where they get all the gangs in New York into one big high-rise apartment building, and the Punisher's got to go through them level by level and take them all out.
The raid. redemption.
Yes. And so it's a ton of fun. They do a lot of like really creative violence. It's very graphic and gory and brutal. But yeah, the Punisher Warzone, one of the last like original feeling comic book movies before everything became kind of formalized and fell into the Disney's hands and turned into just, slop.
Sure. All right. Well, I guess we should get into the movie challenge segment of the show. I guess I'll go first. You challenged me to watch The Wiz, and not my favorite Wiz, played by Toby Huss.
I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz.
What about your fact-checking job?
Oh, here's the fact. I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz and nobody beats me.
We're talking the 1978 The Wiz, directed by Sidney Lumet, starring Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Nipsey Russell, Ted Ross, Mabel King, Teresa Merritt, Lena Horne, and Richard Pryor. Synopsis: when Harlem schoolteacher Dorothy is miraculously whisked away to an urban fantasy land called Oz, she goes in search of the Wiz, a wizard who can help her get back to Manhattan, along with the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion. So this is a reimagining of The Wizard of Oz, an urban retelling of the story, if you will.
I'm an actor. Wow, that's really impressive. Thank you. In fucking movies? Fucking movies, pretty much. Look at you. What? Anything I've seen? What movies? Oh, all sorts of movies with all-male casts. All-male casts? Like Glengarry Glen Ross, like that? Like Glenn and Gary suck Ross's meaty cock and drop their hairy nuts in his eager mouth. Is that like a sequel? Sort of. It's a reimagining. Oh, like The Wiz. More erotic. And with less women. No women, to be exact.
Without any of the songs. Now, I knew that going in, of course, but I was still kind of hoping that they'd do Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I would have liked to have heard Diana Ross do that.
Yeah, it's not a remake of the movie. It's just another adaptation of the book. It was also a Broadway play before they adapted it to a movie. But I think they did all new songs for the movie. I don't know if any of the songs were from the Broadway play or not.
Yeah, because I know I forget the guy. I already forgot the guy's name who played the lion.
Ted Ross.
Ted Ross. Yes, he won I think he won a Tony for playing the lion in the stage production, the play on Broadway, and they brought him back for the film. So I liked it. The best part, or the best aspect of the film, I think, is the production design. I like a lot of the sets. So the makeup was fun. The part in the beginning when she first gets to Oz and all the graffiti people are coming out of the walls, that was really cool and like creepy, and like that was like out there. I was like, I rewound it at first. I'm like, did I miss it? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, those are the Munchkins. That was Munchkin Land.
The Cursies, right? They're like, we were cursed, and he calls the Cursies or something.
Well, the curse-ees as opposed to the curse-ers.
Right, yeah.
They're the ones that were cursed.
Yeah. It was funny that how enthusiastic they were that Dorothy had killed the witch. Oh, she's a was! Yeah!
Yeah, they're really excited.
She's no longer an is, she's a was. Yeah!
What about the first witch, the living witch that she encounters, Miss One?
Yeah, she had like numbers in her hair.
She was like a bag lady, and then she did numbers. Like she was like a gambling bookie.
Yeah, it was because she was like, she says something along the lines of, "You haven't figured it out yet. My game is numbers," or something.
Yeah.
So I'm Mrs. One, you know.
I don't know if she was doing like a lottery or what she was doing, but yeah, she was like
running numbers.
Like, what other numbers do you want to play?
Michael Jackson I think he does great in here. I think he's a perfect fit for the Scarecrow and this type of material, but the makeup was very distracting because I guess the Scarecrow is supposed to be, I guess, like a canvas sack filled with garbage, you know? Outside of a bag is kind of almost like they have a rope tied around it, around the neck to make the head. So this is kind of feathered off here. But this whole region here is, I don't know what they were doing, but it made him look like he had a double chin and that he was like chubby, but the rest of his body is normal.
Yeah.
Just the way the makeup was set up made him look chubby, and it just made me kind of giggle every time he was talking, as he looked like he was like when people use AI to change memes and make people fat. Like you've seen the Leo DiCaprio Django Unchained meme, where they like make him fat as they do it, or they'll make other memes fat. It just looked. There was some real life person that it reminded me of, who was in like a fat suit, but I couldn't recall specifically. But it was the whole movie. I'm like, God, why does he have a double chin the whole time? He's skinny. He's a Scarecrow, you know. But it just looked funny. And then they put that thing over his nose, where it just makes his nose even like wider.
I don't know if you saw,
like paint.
There's a one of the top reviews on Letterboxd is somebody saying, did they use a Reese's Cups wrapper for his nose? And I think they might have.
Yeah.
I think they might have.
Yeah, just cut like a hole in the center and have it go around and plaster it on there.
Yeah. It does kind of look like that though.
Yeah. I mean, I like the makeup overall.
Bucket. Like his head is like a popcorn bucket.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the makeup overall. The Tin Man was kind of a fun iteration. It was weird when they're in Coney Island and then they walk into Nathan's, but then Nathan, like, it's just, they're on the street again or on the sidewalk. And I was like, oh, I thought we were going to be inside the hot dog shop for a while.
What about when they meet the Tin Man and he's underneath his third wife? I forget what the wife's name was, but it's that giant, round, Mamie or Mammy type of thing. I don't even know what it was, but it was like a giant paperweight that he was crushed by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was funny seeing, it would have been Dorothy's mother.
Auntie M.
Yeah, Auntie M. Yeah, not her mother, of course. Auntie M. I was like, oh, that's Juanita from Billy Madison.
Poor Billy.
I'm so depressed.
You want me to take my shirt off for you?
No, thank you.
Okay, baby. But remember, the offer is on the table.
Because that's where I know her from, of course. But she was also, she's from That's My Mama, right?
Oh,
she was the mama.
I've never seen that, but I've seen That's My White Mama.
Of course, that was my next point was, I never saw that either, but I did see That's My White Mama.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass.
If my mama catches me smoking, she could be detrimental to my behind.
Girl, come on.
All right.
Who's down there coughing? You best not get no phlegm all over my $7 couch.
Oh no, that's my white mama. A white man driving a stuff in his face. Then he hit a woman, never raised. A chance of living was so dim till her soul entered him. You can travel across the sea from what to Yokohama, but there's nothing in the world that compares to my white mama. Yeah.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass.
Oh, I love That's My White Mama. Also starring Artie Lang.
Yes.
Second appearance on the show, Artie Lang. I guess the main drawback to this movie, maybe I would have liked it more if I saw it as a child, but going into it, I was thinking, oh, there's going to be all these songs that I know and that I've heard before a million times, and never knew that they were in The Wiz. And there was just one song that I recognized. I didn't connect that well with a lot of the music. Not that it was bad, because it wasn't. It was just kind of like, okay, this is fine, but I didn't really get into the music as much as I thought I would. The song that I recognized was The Brand New Day towards the end, after they kill the witch.
Oh, yeah.
West.
You probably saw that on Family Guy.
But I've heard that song plenty of times.
Do you remember? I forget what the joke was, but there was a Family Guy bit where they do the deal, at the end when they all come out of their costumes and they're, singing and dancing, and they got the little red loincloths on. There's a Family Guy bit where they do that.
Okay.
And I can't remember. It's in one of the earlier seasons, but it's like, it was something like there was like a city full of white people and something happened or somebody disappeared or died. And then they all like unzip their faces and they're the black people from the end of The Wiz.
Yeah, that makes sense because everyone's like taking their costumes off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an all African-American film except for Toto, of course, voiced by a white man. Did you look into that?
No, I didn't even.
Very famous voice actor. Scooby-Doo. He was Fred in Scooby-Doo, and then later on he actually did Scooby-Doo. But he was not the original Scooby-Doo. But he did lots of different voice acting. They said like his movies and shows have grossed like over $17 billion. It's like, what? That is a heck of a lot. I think he was on the Flintstones, and like he's still active within the past 5 years, I'd say.
Trying to find it. He was credited or uncredited?
Credited, should have been Toto, the voice of Toto.
I don't see it.
What the fuck was I reading? Should be the only white guy in the cast. Here, I know where I saw it on Wikipedia.
Frank Welker. Didn't see him in the IMDb.
Yeah, that's weird. He's 80 years old. As I said, best known for voicing Fred Jones in Scooby-Doo, and then later Scooby-Doo himself since 2002. He did Garfield since 2007 in those movies. He's been in some Futurama. He's got a Lifetime Achievement Emmy Award. So he's done different characters he was the Mad Cat on Inspector Gadget. So he's in Dark Side. He was on Super Friends, Spider-Man, His Amazing Friends, Baby Kermit, Baby Beaker, Other Muppet Babies. He was in G.I. Joe, GoBots, Real Ghostbusters, Johnny Quest, The Smurfs, DuckTales, Captain Planet, Simpsons, Animaniacs, Tom and Jerry, Tiny Toon Adventures. Yeah, the list goes on and on. It keeps going.
Yeah.
It's kind of a heavy hitter because he just does sound effects for Toto. So it's funny. But yes, getting back to my thoughts, it was enjoyable. Maybe if I was in like maybe a better mood or something, I might have responded to it more. But I guess the main drawback was the time. It was a little long. And then I didn't connect with the music in the way I thought I would. But as I said, the sets were terrific, and it ends at the World Trade Center. And there's the gold song, the song about, when Richard Pryor brings it from red to gold.
Yeah.
And then basically they put a camera on top of, on the World Trade Center, but on top of one of the buildings around there, because that is a long shot.
Put it on Tower 7.
Yeah, Tower 7. And because they have the spinning circle and everyone. It's a great shot of very well choreographed with so many different people in the shot. But the music didn't do it for me as much as I thought it would. But nothing wrong with it. Gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd and a very solid eventually.
Eventually.
I think if you rewatch it, at a time where you actually aren't trying to just rush through it and get through it and can kind of relax with it.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably get into it more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like The first time I watched it, I was probably closer to where you were, and then on subsequent rewatches, it's becoming one of my favorites as far as musicals. It's not as good as the 1939 Wizard of Oz, but it's a great alternative.
Sure.
It's better than the Wicked movies, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hear all about Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies, 1997. Directed by Roger Spottiswoode. Is it Spottiswoode or Spotswood? There's an I in there.
Spottiswoode.
There's an I in there.
I think he also did Flight of the Navigator, because we've talked about him on the show before.
He did 48. He wrote 48 Hours.
Yeah, Walter Hill did 48 Hours, the directing.
Directed The Sixth Day with Arnold. He directed Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, another great Sylvester Stallone movie.
Mm-hmm.
Turner and Hooch he directed. Terror Train he directed.
Okay, so not Flight of the Navigator.
I don't see it.
Oh, that's right. The guy who directed Flight of the Navigator directed Grease. I forget who it was.
Yeah. Terror Train we did talk about many years ago.
Yeah.
Tomorrow Never Dies stars.
Hold on a second. Is that I'm trying to figure out that the toy next to you, is that Batista?
That is Blue Tista. Because Batista and is all blue. The infamous Blue Tista.
Okay.
He's got a little hat. He's got a little
I noticed that.
Kanga hat.
I've seen him wear shit like that in real life. And you're just like, you just shake your head.
And that is Baby Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was appropriate as we were talking about James Gunn.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I wish I had known we were doing a USA theme. I would have put Mr. America up here too.
There you go.
Too late now. Yeah, that is Blue Tista. Oh, that happened 12 years ago. Blue Tista. Unbelievable. Anyways, Tomorrow Never Dies stars Pierce Brosnan as James Bond 007, Jonathan Pryce, Michelle Yeoh. She didn't have any work up until Everything Everywhere all at Once. It was her first movie ever, and she hasn't done anything since, except for like 6 movies a year every year.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Hatcher, Ricky Jay, who plays a guy named Henry Gupta, which sounds like an Indian name, but
sounds like a Fisher Stevens character.
Yes. Was he not available? Joe Don Baker returns for a couple, minutes. Vincent Scavelli, Judi Dench is back as M. She's in it a little bit, but not much. Desmond Llewellyn for the 100th time returns as Q. When did that guy doesn't die? Like, he just keeps coming back.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he was 100 years old when this movie came out.
You know what finally killed him? Car accident. So it wasn't like anything old age related. He was in some sort of car accident, and he died from that, his injuries.
He died in 1999 at the age of 85. So that means he was like 82 or 83 when Tomorrow Never Dies came out.
Yeah.
He looks at least 95. And he's looked at least 95 for like the last 10 movies.
I don't know if you've ever talked about it, but have you ever paid attention to his hands? His very arthritic stricken hands, they're swollen.
I mean, not particularly, but
okay.
There's the scene in this movie where he's trying to drive the car remotely and he can't fucking do it.
Yeah, he's all thumbs. Yeah.
You're just gonna give it the right touch cue. Let me handle her.
So there's another podcast, of course, called James Bonding. It's a great podcast that's not really active anymore because there isn't any more Bond movies to discuss, but it's Matt Gorley and Matt Myra. Matt Myra is from Nerdist. Matt Gorley also kind of in that universe. He does other podcasts as well, but they're both huge James Bond fans. And they've done episodes for every movie, I think multiple episodes for every movie. And they've done other episodes. It's a great James Bond podcast. And Gorley started to notice that Desmond Llewellyn's hands are fucking huge, especially like midway through his tenure, then onward. And in GoldenEye, they're massive. I forgot to bring it up last time, but when he's showing him shit in Q Branch, like his hands are swollen. They're fucking huge. And he uses that as like the standard of measurement. So in every movie, they'll mention Desmond Llewellyn's hands and they'll say, well, it's a GoldenEye -5. They aren't as big. This is GoldenEye +2. This is, it compares everything to GoldenEye. So GoldenEye is kind of the standard for, and when I was looking in this one, Tomorrow Never Dies, they didn't seem as big to me. But go back to GoldenEye or some of the other movies. I think it just depends on if he was taking his medication at the time or, if it was a good day or a bad day. Sometimes his hands he has like Tony Robbins banana hands,
He's got O.J. Simpson does the glove fit day.
He does. Stop taking the meds.
The synopsis for Tomorrow Never Dies is James Bond is sent to disrupt a media mogul's plot to foment a war between China and the United Kingdom. Which is, it's kind of a convoluted plot. It's funny though that they have the media mogul is like the biggest piece of shit in the world. And he wants to start World War III just so he can get exclusive media rights in China for 100 years.
Yeah.
And he wants to usher in the new world order.
That's the thing. It's like, it's really dumb, but at the same time, it's like, that has held up very well. It translates very well to the media today.
And he's manipulating the news and making up stories and stuff. And
yeah.
He's got all these stories. Like, he even has a story about James Bond getting killed. Like, he has a report, like an anchor reading it off.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends this guy in there to torture Bond or whatever. And he's like, if you don't do what I tell you, this is going to be on the news tomorrow. And it's going to be about you dying today.
Because I'm
going to kill you.
That's the name of his news, too. It's called Tomorrow, right? That's the newspaper.
This is tomorrow's news today. But so it's I don't think it's a great plot, and the mogul is Elliot Carver, played by Jonathan Pryce. I don't think he's not like a bad villain, but he's far from the greats of the series.
Right.
It's kind of a silly plot, and like he's just kind of okay.
His best scene was probably what I don't know if you saw what I tweeted out the other day when Switek and who else was. They were tweeting about something martial arts. I think even Michelle Yeoh. Oh, somebody was talking about Tomorrow Never Dies and how, they didn't really use Michelle Yeoh well. They didn't really play to her strengths. She isn't really doing a lot of martial arts in there. Very little to speak of. And I just, just posted the video of Elliot Carver making fun of mocking her martial arts. He goes, pathetic.
Pathetic.
That scene was hilarious. That was one of my favorite scenes. Like, this is great. Like, they could never do that today. They would never do that. Even though he's a shitty villain that everybody is supposed to hate, you can't do anything offensive whatsoever in movies.
Whoa.
That used to be so commonplace, where you'd get some white guy villain making fun of the Asian guy by doing bad karate, and then he would get his comeuppance. Like it was like something that you couldn't you couldn't wait to see him get his ass kicked because he's fake.
So the first rule of journalism that Bond tells him about, right? Give the people what they want.
Yeah,
gets his comeuppance is my main point.
Yeah. Now, having said that about the plot, like there's a lot of really good action in this movie. Like the opening scene's kind of dumb, but like him flying the jet out with the nuclear bombs before the missile comes and kills everybody was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Although I didn't understand why he kept the guy in the plane in the back seat. Like when he took off, like throw the guy out before you take off.
Well, no, I don't think he had time to pull that guy out. He knocked
guess
him out and
not.
then just got in.
Well, he should have grabbed him as he was getting in, whatever. But like he just left him in there so he could get choked from behind.
Yeah.
But that was cool. The he's got the remote control car. That was a fun scene where they're trying to break into the car and like shoot it and hit it with sledgehammers and stuff, and they can't do it. And then he's
Elon
driving
Musk, Joe Rogan thing.
Yeah. Then he's driving it remotely from the back seat.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So seeing all these cool BMWs, you get more out of it now that you're a member of that exclusive club of BMW owners.
I mean, well, I don't know a lot about BMWs historically. Like when I bought my car, I was looking at like what I could afford. I wasn't looking much at the other stuff out there. And Bond.
I'm sorry, you could only afford a BMW.
Yeah, but like I have a 3 Series. It's not like I'm driving a BMW 750 like James Bond.
Okay.
With a voice activated robot concierge or whatever.
Don't let her push you around.
Yeah, don't let her push you around. I can't remote drive my BMW. I don't know, how it was back in the 90s, but like now, like a 7 Series got to be a minimum of like $100,000, maybe $120,000 for like the lowest 7 Series.
Sure.
So I just know that they're really expensive. I don't know much about them.
Yeah.
But I never paid attention to BMWs until I got one. So it is what it is. Like I get more excited for I used to get more excited for Dodge Chargers, but you see those so often now. It's like not even special anymore.
Right.
The motorcycle scene was really cool. I like that one a lot with the helicopter chasing it and getting like really low between the buildings. And like for a second, I thought they were going to do the death proof or no, the Planet Terror thing where they're chopping heads off with the blades.
They recreated that scene more recently, and now I'm having a brain fart where they have 2 people on the vehicle and they're like handcuffed and they can't drive the motor. They have to co-drive the motorcycle.
They did that in the second to last Mission Impossible with the whatever the little car was, the Fiat.
Oh, right. Yes, of course. Yes. Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell.
Yeah.
In was it a VW? Or Fiat. It was a Fiat.
I think it was a Fiat. It was, a little
tiny Italian car.
Yeah. There was a few things.
Esposito vehicle.
Right. I didn't know you were Italian. Neither does anybody else because he always plays Mexican. Or Guatemalan or whatever. Giancarlo Esposito play a non-Latino Challenge Impossible. There are a few things I can't recall exactly offhand right now, but there were a few things where I'm like, this looks really familiar. Like movies that came out after it did the same thing. And that was one of them, the helicopter. I thought, oh, this is just like Planet Terror. But they didn't actually chop people's heads off. People got out of the way. Of course, they were probably copying the Twilight Zone, but
yeah,
that was really cool. And then when they hooked it and they, flipped it around, like I was watching it, and I'm like, just fucking drive back at it. And then they did. They did it. Like, yes, it makes sense. Oh, I think the other thing was when they were in the sunken ship and they were looking for whatever, because they sink the ship at the beginning.
Yeah. Trying to see
And
if the missiles were still there or gone or what happened to the missiles.
Right. That reminded me of, I think it was the last Mission Impossible did that.
Yeah.
Right. With the underwater dive where he's got to take the mask. He can't do it with the mask on, or he's got to take his gear off to get out through the torpedo launch.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked the big finale, basically the entire third act where they're on the stealth ship and everything starts blowing up and there's a big shootout and Elliot Carver gets to have his moments. Everything just kind of just all action, and it was a lot of fun. I liked Elliot Carver's death a lot. That kind of pushed it over the edge for me, from like a 3 to 3.5 star movie.
It was good
when he takes the drill, and you get the fun one-liner from Bond there. Like, give them what they want.
Yeah, his blonde henchman too gets that knife in the chest, and his foot gets scorched by the rocket, and he, like, pulls the knife out, and like it's pretty. Bond's kind of brutal in this one too, because he executes Dr. Kaufman in the hotel room.
Yes, played by Vincent Schiavelli.
Yeah. Mr. Vargas.
But yeah, so where the plot and the villain was kind of mediocre, I thought there was enough big action set pieces that really hit for me to make up for those. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and it's a WTM eventually for me.
Eventually.
Lest we forget, when Zolly Becker shows up, you can hear the first thing you hear him say is "Jimbo."
Hey, Jimbo.
You can hear it over the roar of the helicopter blade. The blades are humming, and you can hear them, "Jimbo."
Yeah, they're on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Oh, I did like, so much like GoldenEye. This is a very 90s movie. There's a lot of like computer shit.
Yeah.
This one is specifically, they bring up GPS a lot.
Yeah.
But they always call it the GPS Global Positioning System. So redundant. But it was brand new tech at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had them available to the general public yet.
Yeah.
But if they did, it was brand new. And,
it was nice that they didn't have, like you complained about in GoldenEye, they kind of had some of that shitty 90s, I don't know, I guess house techno type music.
Oh,
for
yeah.
part of the score, but they didn't really have that in here.
Yeah, the music was much better. I'm just going to read out some of my favorite lines. So there's a scene where I think Moneypenny and M are calling Bond, and he's in bed with a girl, and he says, "I'm rubbing up on a little Danish."
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, Moneypenny says, "You've always been a cunning linguist, James."
Yeah. Samantha Bond.
And then there was another scene later where I think so he was trying to get information from Terry Hatcher, who was an ex-girlfriend of his who's married to Elliot Carver.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was the situation. And I forget who says it, but they said, "I'll have to pump her for information. You'll have to decide just how much pumping is needed, James."
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another scene where James finds out there's a giant building that Elliot Carver owns I believe they're in Saigon. And he says, "Man, this guy in his buildings, he's got them everywhere. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he's developed an edifice complex."
Yeah, if you like those lines, there's a whopper of a line in "The World Is Not Enough," which is what I'm going to challenge you to watch next.
All right.
That's what we're doing. That's what this is. This is a challenge.
This is a challenge.
Challenge you to watch The world is not enough.
And I am going to challenge you to remove a Brian De Palma blind spot and challenge you to watch Sisters.
Perfect. It's on my watch pile. It's already there.
Starring Margot Robbie. No, not Margot Robbie. Margot Kidder. Starring Margot Kidder, the original Lois Lane.
That's right. Looking forward to that. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff in the works. Some stuff we can't even talk about, but it's very exciting. I'll leave it at that. But our summer series, we're going to kick that off soon. That'll probably be the next episode on, I think, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I know that's going to be the first summer series one we do. Whether or not that's the next episode, we'll see. But be looking out for that. Check out our YouTube page, WTM Studios. There will be a link in the show notes, just like everything else. Just to reiterate, we are now on Spotify. We were always on Spotify, but we migrated the podcast to Spotify, which allows us to post video. And this episode will actually probably be released on video, as well as audio and all the typical places, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, wherever you consume podcasts. But you can watch the videos on Spotify or our YouTube page. So check that out. You can email us at watchthismovie@yahoo.com. Follow us on X at watchthis_movie, or Brett at PositivelyWolf1, which is also his Letterboxd profile. Mine can be found under Eric_Mulder. Please rate and review, subscribe on everything. That would be a big help. Yeah, other than that, we will check you later.
Guess we'll see you around.
All right, check you later.
Bye.
Wait, man, why are you always such a dork, man? What are you talking
Check you
about?
later.
Check you later. Hey, man, get off my case.
But then suddenly all that changed. Suddenly I was trying to do something for someone else. We were trying to earn $50,000 to get a heart transplant for our dad.
You two are brothers?
Yeah, it's a long story.
My dad boned his mom.
Okay, it's a short story.